And we're back. You know, Adam, this is already having a little bit of a episode 3 vibe.
Don't even give me that garbage
Garbage
right now. Garbage.producer.com.
It's got a little bit of that feel. This is our third start to this episode. Your computer died. You didn't have a charger. I had to go get my charger. All right. We start. We get about 15 seconds in. Our main camera dies. All right.
I will state it again. Why is it always my fault?
What is your job title?
Not podcast host.
That's true. That is true. This has been thrust onto you, but you jinxed yourself talking about how the most stressful thing you've ever done is build a house, and I told you until now.
You called it down upon me.
I did. I called in the Kraken, and here we are. Obviously, folks, we have a guest with us today. It's going to be here from beginning to end. So, guys, this is Brett Will. Brett is on our staff. Brett, we've known one another a long time. Welcome to the show, Brett Will.
Thank you, guys. Adam, Brad.
Brett is not uncomfortable at all.
Just a little bit.
It looks a little bit uncomfortable.
He's not uncomfortable.
Which I'd rather you look uncomfortable than homeless.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Because there's been a couple times this last fall that I had people, because we hunt together quite a bit. And I literally was like, well, let's take a homeless guy hunting day, and you know, but you look put together today, Brett. Thanks for you know.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Not looking
like
trash
today. Like garbage.
Yep.
Garbage.
There is a fine line there. There is a fine line between looking good and looking homeless, and I ride that line very.
The razor's edge.
Yes.
The razor's edge.
So we were in this Marco Polo group together. If you don't know the Marco Polo app, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And would you say we're a little too comfortable with one another?
I would say I would agree. Understatement on that. Yeah, very, very much so.
Yeah, there's disturbing. There's funny.
Yep.
And then there's just too comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And
way too comfortable.
Yeah.
Hey, another big thing that we obviously need to point out is that we're in a new location.
Yes, we finally got to scratch that one off the list. Got a new location.
But I think it's just short-lived, though.
It may be a little short-lived. Everything comes with a sample period.
Yeah, this is definitely a sample period. We are in the Final Descent Outdoors office.
Yes.
We've moved
which is about 25 feet away from the Final Descent Outdoors studio space we were just located in.
Yes, exactly.
Prior.
We're just down the road. This beautiful office. Brett, man, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you coming and donating your time and helping me with the electric in here. You brought your crew out. You didn't.
You really want me to kill Brett here on the podcast?
You didn't charge me a dime.
No, I mean, when you came to me about it and said, hey, you know, this is kind of going to help the ministry and everything with Final Descent, and it's like, wow, you know, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And I figured everybody that would work.
Brett, you're just a saint. You know
was just donating their time.
It was donating their time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
you forgot that Brad went to garbage.com to find his framer, and my picture came up.
I've known you guys for quite some time, and you guys have been really good friends. So I just figured you were doing the friendly gesture that most friends would do, and you know, offer your services.
Yeah.
Free of charge.
So Adam
Brett,
didn't.
You're wrong.
Adam did not do that. He took the money. But I wanted to tell you that I appreciate you bringing not only yourself, but a crew of guys.
We did.
And you guys knocked this out, put all of our lights in, all of our track lighting. I know you guys can't see it all. Anyway, Adam, you want to talk about your sponsor over there, bud? Who you drinking today? Buddy? What do you got over there? Deliciousness. Talk about it.
Today, my sponsor is the always delicious.
Little chocolate milk today, huh?
Because I have the taste buds of a 4-year-old.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No, I don't.
No, we talked about that just a couple episodes ago. You do not have the taste buds of a 4-year-old.
I didn't say I had the stomach enzymes of a 4-year-old.
No, you don't eat stuff that 4-year-olds would eat. I have a 4-year-old, and they don't eat what you eat. This segment is also brought to you by Crush Orange. In the
more specifically, Baby Crush.
Baby Crush, the minis. Baby Crush, the minis. It's good. Delicious.
If anybody at the Coca-Cola Bottling Company would like to contact us for future sponsorships, they can reach us.
Yeah, go to finaldestinoutdoors.com. Shoot me an email. We'd love to have a beverage sponsor. We're going to get a beverage sponsor. I don't know who it's going to be, but we're going to have somebody that's going to partner with us because this has become a thing.
Final Descent Outdoors, brought to you by Sewer Water in a Cup. Delicious.
If you write a check, I'd talk. We'd talk. The baby headphones, once again, are back. So sounded pretty good in there, aren't they, Brett? Better than it sounds better than that last podcast you did.
Yeah, and they go good with me,
Yeah.
Riding that fine line, right?
Right, the fine line of those are probably his actual.
Here's the deal, Brett. There are moments that I have seen you with all your long hair, unkept, that I look at you and I think that guy has no problem getting out of jury duty. Like you just walk in and they're like, "No, we're out. We're not doing that."
Well, that's back to some of the Marco Polo stuff when I'm in my comfort zone at home.
Yeah. And
I don't care.
Yeah.
And you're probably just like, wow.
I Marco Polo you guys often in the shower. Now, obviously it's, it's not inappropriate, but we'll have a conversation in the shower.
Is any Marco Polo in the shower?
Have you noticed how many showers he takes a day?
I'm a clean person.
He's a very clean person.
I'm a very clean person.
Every time.
I take a shower like once a week or
something. I took a bath this morning. Matter of fact, when you called me about, hey, are we still doing this? I was in a bathtub.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I was in the bathtub.
You seem like a bather.
I don't take baths all that often, but today felt like a good day for it.
Do you do the candles and all that too?
I'll do some aromatherapy soap in there.
A little bath bomb action.
A little lavender. No bombs, but just like the scent. Some scent
like
bubble
lavender.
bath. I like lavender.
My wife has a couple of lavender plants at home.
Very nice.
It's nice, yeah.
So Brett, you have been in a way kind of associated with Final Descent Outdoors for a while, but officially on our staff, your official title is our land management specialist.
You like that? Land management specialist.
Is that an overwhelming task? Have we learned that monitoring our ground is a little overwhelming?
It is. Very. But you kind of fair warned me going into it.
Yeah.
You said, hey, this is going to be a lot of work. Big job.
Yeah, it's a big job.
But, you really can't fully.
It's like 5,000 acres.
Grasp that.
Yeah.
Because it is, a lot farther drive for me than it is for you.
Right. Yeah, western Oklahoma. So how far is it for you?
It takes about 3.5 to.
So we go out. We try to make it at least a 2-day trip.
We do.
Yeah, and we get out there and get after it, and we need to make a trip soon because coons have plotted against us.
But I think we did a great job this last year.
No, we did.
In our first year, really doing it.
Yeah. No, we had very successful hunts. Your daughter killed a great deer.
She did.
My kids killed some deer. We had the guys from Thorn. They came in and killed deer. Guy from Real Avid brought his son. They killed. We had a good year. Saw a lot of deer, and we saw bigger deer.
Yep.
Than what we've seen the last couple of years.
And we kept everything up and running. Cameras, feeders.
Yep.
Stands, blinds.
I'm just glad we had a certified electrician out there install those solar units onto those cameras.
But we could not pull that off. That was a struggle finding from the new Reveal cameras, wasn't it? Yeah, that was.
I'll never forget that.
That was brutal.
Brett, tell us that story.
So.
Oh, come on.
We had to go there.
No, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
We're going.
It's whatever.
He brought it up.
Whatever. I know
so we have to go there.
We have to go. We can't tease people.
So we get the new Reveal cameras, and I do get a heck of a discount. Thank you to Elliott Electric Supply for their
Brett is an electrician.
AA batteries, and we get at a discounted price.
Yes.
This segment's brought to you by True Fuse Electric.
True Fuse Electric.
Yeah. So anyways, we realized real quick how many batteries we were going through.
Yeah, so
very quick.
We were because
eat them like I eat tacos.
The deer population,
pretty much.
The deer population out there is just a ton. There's a ton of deer. It's not uncommon to see 100 deer in a night.
Correct.
Sitting on one of our stands, and so the amount of pictures we were taking was crazy. We were burning batteries quick on our cell cameras from Reveal.
Yeah.
So Brad brought it up and was like, "Hey, I'm at Cabela's and numerous other places," and he says, "Man, what do you think about these solar?" adapters that would adapt to the Reveal cameras. I'm like, okay. And, you know, you're kind of sold on it when you do that to go to the Cabela's or Bass Pro, wherever. You're sold on it because they basically say almost all cameras will work.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he takes that and runs with it.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you?
And I bought multiple kinds.
Yeah.
Right. I bought one from one other brand, then I bought an HME.
Yeah.
Kind of an all general, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Hunting Made Easy. That's what it stands for.
Oh, yeah.
Hunting Made Easy.
Oh, yeah. So the Hunting Made Easy products are there on location.
Shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brad realizes real quick that the port for the male adapter, kind of like how our our deals plug in here,
they ain't driving.
They ain't mixing.
They ain't liking each other.
One's bigger than the other, right? So he calls me and he's like, "Hey, can you look for the right part for these?" I'm like, "Okay. Well, I need a camera and I need the the solar system and everything."
Oh,
well, guess what? We find them. And we were out west, and Brad was like, "Hey, could you just leave those with me?" Yeah, bud, sure could. He goes, I'll work on it.
I'm super handy.
Get it done.
Certified.
So,
bona fide.
He calls me about a day later, and he's like it was literally like having an apprentice work for you who goes for the first time on his own. And you basically put him in a room by himself and say, "Hey, do this room. And,
wire this room."
Yeah. And he comes back, with the biggest smile, usually about an hour and a half later because that's how long it takes him the first go around, which I'm sure Brad had, like he said, worked all day on this.
Well, it had a steel cable that ran in that protected the wire. So it did take me a fair minute to get in
all day was what was relayed back to me. And so I was kind of proud with him in that moment. I was like, "Man, good job, bud. I'm proud of you. Way to go. You did it."
What an accomplishment.
Yeah, and I was convinced and believed that we had a smooth running solar operation, Hunting Made Easy.
Well, let me just state that so did I.
So then we get together a couple days later to go out.
You get to go and make your inspection.
Correct. I'm looking at this adapter and I pull it apart. And if anybody knows anything, the copper wire that comes up into it, there's a little tab on there, and all that has to be soldered together, right?
Was it soldered together?
No, it was not. It looked like my 4-year-old took a piece of strippers and stripped it off the little insulation part and just wrapped it around.
That part was done pretty well.
Wrapped it around the little tap.
Both wires.
And stabbed it back together. Something that literally probably
Nailed it.
3 minutes and 25 seconds. But this was an all-day task with a celebration behind it.
Listen, there's lanes in life. Okay.
I agree. There's 100%.
There's lanes.
There
in
are
life.
lanes.
I need to stay in mine. And mine is not doing anything handy. It's not. It's just not it. Like, you want me to get up and speak in front of 10,000 people? No problem. You want me to, walk in to a meeting where there's $10 million on the table? No problem. I have no problem talking to people in any situation whatsoever. You want me
to fix
to
a
do
toaster?
That? No, toaster, bro. They're cheap, bro. We just buy new toasters.
Just toss it.
We don't do that. That's dumb. All right. You want me to be handy and fix something? It's just like the other day. So we have our septic system here. All right. We have an aerobic system, and the air pump quit. And the guy came out and he said, "Hey, man, I can walk you through it and cost you about $100 to change in parts to rebuild it and do it yourself. Or it's going to cost you $250 for me to come out." And I said, "When can you be here?" Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Great decision.
A great decision, right? It's kind of like having windows delivered. You pay the fee. You know what I mean?
100%.
You pay the fee.
100%.
Every time. I'll admit, I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to electrical things. Okay. All right.
Adam Carter does.
I do.
Does he?
To a certain degree.
Hey,
To a certain degree.
I
You're
was
better
told
than me.
how much money would you going to pay me an hour if I went and worked for you based off that job?
Yeah, based off that job, I
Yeah.
thought you were a $15 an hour hand.
$15 an hour.
What would you have paid me based off my work?
Was it based on your work? I thought maybe you came from that free work program that the Indians put on.
Was it? You would pay me unemployment because I'd be fired.
Because you'd be not working anymore.
Yeah,
That's the
fine.
phone call from the Chickasaw Nation. Hey, would you try out our new guy today? It doesn't cost you anything. You're not liable for anything.
Oh boy,
Great, sign up. That was you.
That was me.
Yeah,
that was you.
That's fine.
So there is a difference.
Yeah.
Big difference.
So, yeah, we struggle with solar.
Yeah, we did.
But even when I gave them to you,
Solar still didn't work.
so we never got.
We
it to
even
work.
soldered the right parts together.
Not
so-
we. I wasn't a part of that. Let's just be honest.
The
I
s-
wasn't there.
Okay, we did solder all the right parts together.
Mm-hmm.
We put the solars out. The solars did not do their job.
Yeah.
They worked,
Mm.
but they would not charge the reveals.
Yeah. So we struggle with that.
Do we have rechargeable batteries in them?
They had the lithium rechargeable.
Mm.
Yeah, we struggled with it.
Yeah.
So anyway, but Reveal just came out with the Reveal X, which has got a ton of upgrades. So we're super excited to get those out. And here's the deal: most places just aren't taking as many pictures as we are. Outside of that, cameras are awesome.
The cameras
Oh,
are
great
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Great
Phenomenal cameras. But when you're taking
Fast action.
up 10,000 camera pictures a day,
No, we have too many deer.
it's just too much.
It's a
They
great
just
problem to
need
have.
to come out with a really good solar system.
Yeah, but maybe that'll be like an
Down the
accessory they're
road.
coming
Yeah.
with. They can.
Somebody.
Somebody got to have it.
Sitting on a gold mine.
Do you know they've already sold out? They already sold out like in 3 days of the new one, the 10 or the Reveal X cameras when they came out. Like 3 days out of every store. It's just blowing up, man. These Reveal cameras, unbelievable. Anyway, so Brett, we got some funny stories we got to talk about.
Okay.
Some great stuff.
Yeah.
First off, you used to not always. You've always been an electrician, but you had for a while. You owned Swivel M Tree Stand Company.
I did.
You're in the tree stand game.
I did.
Dealt with a lot of retailers. So if you guys might even remember, there's a lot of people like, oh, I remember those stands. They're the ones that completely like level to whatever tree.
Yep.
And really cool design, and took that and did that, and got out of that because of just basically insurance and just
market
issues.
was, yeah.
It was just hard, right? I mean, when it comes to the insurance side of tree stands, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Right.
So just real quick, kind of talk about even just the liability with a tree stand.
Okay. So as Brad said, yeah, back in the day, a good friend of mine, Steve Quisenberry, and myself, we took it upon ourselves, got in the archery industry, but did it on the tree stand manufacturing side of things.
Yeah.
So we started out with our first stand, which was the Swivel M tree stand. And then as we progressed through the years, we added more products and more things.
Climbing sticks,
yeah.
screwing steps. You guys had
The
regular
old-
hang-ons.
The old tree winch.
The tree winch was still to this day a product that was one of the most messages that we received from the show
Yeah,
about a product was probably the tree winch.
it was. It was a good
Yeah.
product.
Yeah.
It just needs some work.
Yeah.
Needs some finesse to it, But yeah, so we did that for part-time for a long time. We started in 06, so let's see, I would have been 26 years old at that time when
Wow.
we started. Our last year in it, for myself, would have been in 2015.
Okay.
So as Brad mentioned, when we first got in the industry, at that time, insurance is a big deal because we live in this Sue Happy world,
Right. Yeah.
And as years progressed, it just continued to get worse and worse and worse and worse. So our first year that we were in it, we were around a $6,000 a year policy. In 2006, the last year I was in it was $176,000 a year.
Just in your upfront paying for your premium for your insurance.
Correct.
$6,000 to $176,000.
Correct.
That is outrageous.
So by the time
That's a lot of tree stands.
that's a lot of tree stands. We progressed over the years with a line of tree stands that competed in the market because, let's face it, in this industry, 90% of your products, probably even more, 95% of them all came from overseas.
Yeah.
To play with the big boys and to play in the big games and all that.
Yeah.
You know, so you're competing in that marketplace, and you have to do the testing in the factories with the QCs and everything, and making sure everybody's on the, you know, the uppity up of things, and that you are getting a good product before you put it in the marketplace. But lawsuits after lawsuits after lawsuits, big box stores started requiring more
liability.
more, you know, because now the box stores, your Cabela's, your Bass Pros, all them were ending up in the courtroom, and their insurance and their place, because let's say it's a Cabela's, you know, it's not a, you know, let's say River's Edge or one of the, you know, or a big game tree stands, you got Cabela's. So what money do they want? They want their money.
Yeah.
They know they got it, and they sold the product. So it was just a trickle effect, and that's what created the insurance to where it's at now. And I can only imagine what it is today.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
You know,
I don't even know, but it's outrageous, I'm sure.
You know, I remember probably the craziest one I ever heard of was years ago. There was a manufacturer took a big lawsuit, and I won't say their names, but I took a major lawsuit because in the instruction manual they had a 2-man ladder stand that they did not make aware that a man and a woman could engage in extra activities.
Fornication.
They didn't write that. Therefore,
16 feet up in the air.
They were liable.
So the man fell out of the stand, landed on his back, and they walked away with $5+ million lawsuit.
Wow.
Because they did not have anything in their tree stand or in their manual to state otherwise. So when I say crazy.
That's crazy right there. That's crazy that has to be spoken.
Yeah.
So you got out of the industry, but the first time I ever went to the ATA show, Archery Trade Association show, I hitched a ride with you.
I remember that.
We went up. It was in Columbus.
First time ever really hanging out.
Yeah, we talked about, like you guys had come on. We were early
when
days.
Was that?
Like this,
what
like
year was that?
Dude, it had been 10 years ago.
Was that in like?
It'd been like 2011.
11?
Yeah, 10 or 11.
Yeah.
All right. And so I hitch a ride with you, and it's you and Steve Quisenberry, me, and Billy.
Oh, Billy.
All right.
Man, I loved Billy.
Billy. So, Brett, you're not a big guy. How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
Okay, Brett. You don't have to lie to make any friends. What are you, 5'8"?
No, I'm 5'10".
All right, so you're about 5'8".
How tall are you?
I'm about 6'2".
Okay.
All right.
So what makes you think I'm not 5'10"?
I just don't feel you're a 5'10"er, you know?
You want to see my driver's license?
You want to see mine? I
mean, how do we
got lies across the board.
Do you have a tape
here,
measure?
You know? I mean, we can do that later. We can figure that out and see how close you are to actually being 5'10". What are you wearing today? What do you got on shoe wise? You got boots on?
I got my boots on.
Yeah, we're barefooting it. Because you're probably 5'10" with those boots on.
No. Like 5'10" and a half.
You have a half an inch heel.
5'11".
They're really worn.
Yeah, really worn.
Really worn down.
Okay,
okay. So I'm 5'9".
Anyway.
I'm 5'9".
All right, so you're 5'9". Okay. You're not a big guy.
No, buck 55, buck 60.
Right.
Right.
Yep. Sounds good. All right. Billy, on the other hand, is a large man.
Yeah, he is.
Billy's a big dude.
6'4",
6'4",
6'3", maybe.
Oh, he's taller. He's 2 inches taller than me. He's gonna be 6'4", probably. Okay.
Nickname Hillbilly.
We named him Hillbilly.
Everybody knows him as Hillbill.
Here's the deal. You remember that cartoon of the big dog that's walking and it has that little chihuahua that's with him? You know, that was you guys. But here's the deal. You're the little guy, but I have never seen somebody more dedicated to somebody than Billy was to you.
Yeah.
Like Billy, whatever you said, Billy would do it. Like if you told Billy, I want you to burn down that Walgreens across the street, Billy would be like, I'm on it.
Yeah, he probably would have done it.
If you're like, I want you see that family right there? I want you to murder them all.
Well, that's a little harsh.
A ball-peen hammer.
That's just real dark. That's real dark.
We just went real dark.
I'm just trying to say, Billy.
How do we go from Walgreens to murdering?
Right? So
that's one heck of a staircase.
I'm just trying to make the point is that he is in for whatever you ask him to do.
Yeah. He was that guy.
He was that guy.
No doubt about it.
So we're driving up, and we stop at a gas station.
Yeah.
And you and me,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, hey, let's play a joke on Billy. Now, once again, I don't know you guys that well.
Right.
Right? I'm the newbie. I don't know Steve really that well. I don't know. Literally, I've been in the car with y'all for like 6 or 7 hours. We're in Missouri.
Right.
And driving to Columbus. And I remember you were like, hey, we're going to play this joke on Billy.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, I'm going to go get in the trailer. And you guys pretend like y'all don't know where I am, and y'all start driving down the road, and we're going to play this prank on Billy. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny, But I didn't realize to the extent Billy was your right-hand man.
The loyalty that was
the
there.
loyalty that was
The
there.
loyalty was there.
Oh,
It was.
It was unbelievable. And I wasn't fully aware of it. So Steve gets in the truck, and before Billy does, and I fill him in.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, Brett's in the trailer. This is what we're doing. He's like, okay, that's funny, Well, Billy comes, and he gets in, and he's like, hey, where's Brett? Immediately. Like, he gets in the church, like, where's Brett? I didn't see him. I didn't see him in the bathroom, I was just making sure he's good, And I said, oh, he's still in the stall in there, man. I guess he had to, take care of a little business,
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, so we get in. I said, hey, what would be funny? If we move the truck. He comes out, and he didn't know where the truck is. And Billy was like, yeah, I don't know, man. That's probably not a good idea. Let's just leave it here. Well, I get in the driver's seat, and I put it in drive, and I, start going. Well, it's one of those deals. It was like, like on the turnpikes.
Oh, yeah.
There's no other way to go. You have to get right back on. So I start going, and it immediately dumps me on the highway.
So you're on.
I'm on the interstate. I get on the interstate, and Billy's like, what are you doing, you freaking idiot? You left Brett back there. You got to turn this thing around right now. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, I'll turn around. I'll get to the next exit. He's like, turn around right here in the median. And I'm like, in the grass, bro? Like, we're pulling a trailer. Well, by chance, there's construction over the next, 6-7 miles. Every exit's closed.
Yeah. One lane.
Are you at least on speakerphone,
No. We get going.
Oh, God.
And Billy's just like, you're an idiot. Brett's going to kill you, man. I can't believe you did this.
Well, Brett's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Not Billy.
Yeah, well, what he means by that is when Brett says kill you, then Billy's going to snap my neck like a twig. You know what I mean?
When Brett gives the word, I swear, you're a dead man.
I'm going to rip off your arm and beat you to death with it.
Yeah, I think Brad was actually legit nervous.
Well, it's just because the intensity. He was legit. Billy was he's like, oh, I could hit you, man. I'm so mad right now, And I'm like, dude, I'll get turned around. It's not that big of a deal. Well, about that time, Steve's phone rings.
Oh.
Brett's calling from the trailer.
Yeah, played along.
Oh, and he's just like, where you guys at? And Billy's like, it's Brad. Brad's a freaking idiot. He's an idiot, man. He was trying to move the truck to play Brad. I wasn't in on it, Brett. I promise, man. I'm so sorry.
You, Brett.
I love you, Brett. He's coming.
My boy Blue.
We're coming back for you. I promise we're coming back. I'm going to make him turn around. Just hang out. And you're just like, you guys better hurry up, man. I do not have the patience for this. And you just hang up, and Steve's like, oh, he's pissed. And Billy's like, yep, he's pissed, Brad. He's pissed. And I'm just like, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. So anyway, I finally get to a place where there's an exit. I exit, and I go across the turn. He's like, you turn around, you get back down there, you floor it, man. You got to get back and get Brett. You got to hurry. Mm-hmm. And so I'm, I exit and I go across the top of the overpass, and there's another gas station, and I go past the exit, and he's like, what are you doing?
You missed the exit?
I missed the exit.
Oh, yeah.
No, I missed the get back on.
So you
exit.
just in and out.
And I pulled into the parking lot of this gas station. I was like, guys, listen, I don't know Brett that well. If I'm behind the wheel, I'm afraid he's going to freak out really bad on me, and I think he would take it easier on one of you guys. And Billy's like, bull, man, you get behind that wheel. This is your fault. You did this. You're owning it, man. You're owning it. And about that time, Brett knocks on his window.
Oh, yeah. Man.
And so Brett's like, ding, 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 ding. And he's cussing me. He's just like, you son of a, it's your fault. It's your fault, and you're going to face the consequences. And he turns, and Brett's standing there. Classic.
Oh, man. Boy, that was a good time.
Great time.
Gosh.
We've had some other great times together.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Gator Reggie?
Gator Reggie, Louisiana.
How did that all come about? We went alligator hunting. Tell me, you lined it up. I was just a participant.
Right. So let's see. That's right. We had some stands that were going to get tested. So the testing lab was Scientific Testing Lab down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah.
And that's where we sent all our tree stands to get
Baton Rouge
tested for TMA, Tree Stand Manufacturers Association.
Yep.
So we had a...
the only reason I know all of these abbreviations and all that stuff.
Why's that?
Because of the boxes.
Nah.
Making the boxes.
Yeah. All the boxes have them.
Yeah, Full Strip Media did a bunch of
That's right.
That's how I
That's
met
right.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Showed up at your place taking pictures.
Right.
Of tree
So all
stands.
those stands you
built
took
a
pictures
catalog
of,
Yeah.
that was what we were testing at that time.
All right. Okay.
But I remember we had a lot of stands that needed tested. So I called Scientific and I just lined it up with them to say, hey, instead of shipping you all these, what if we just come in one shot, do it all at once? That way it can be done over pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually allotted, I think it was like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Just for our company.
Just for your haul.
Just to go in and out real quick. And then somewhere along the way, Brad and I had communication about all that. And he brought up the idea of like, hey, why don't we,
Find somebody to go alligator hunting with.
well,
They break off.
well, why don't we film
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Film the testing process.
stuff?
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
So then my wheels started spinning, and I'm like, man, what's the chances of throwing in an alligator hunt?
Yeah.
So then I contact Scientific, and they're like, hey, we actually know a guy,
Yeah. His name's Gator Reggie.
and his name is Gator Reggie.
And here's
Like
the deal.
official.
Who-
When you look in his driver's license, it says first name Gator, last name
No,
Reggie.
I don't-
You can't even.
I don't think he probably has a driver's license.
The best way you could explain this whole thing with Gator Reggie, as far as just Gator Reggie in general, is like, you ever watch some old like cowboy movies, the old westerns? When John Wayne finally makes his appearance,
Yeah.
that was Gator Reggie in the alligator world.
Oh
I know
yeah.
it was.
Like
That's a
Gator
good word.
Reggie is above and beyond the swamp people.
Oh yeah.
Gator Reggie turned down the swamp people.
He did.
Swamp
yeah.
People
True story.
is based off of Gator Reggie.
Correct.
Yeah, he was like, Tom Landry guy. He's not a.
Yeah.
He's not. He's
He goes,
crawfish man. He don't know. He
I've
don't
known
know
every.
gators like I've got
yeah,
gators. He
I've
don't
known
know
him
gators
ever
like me.
since he was in little short pants. Oh yeah.
Well, that's not exactly how he said it.
Well-
No, man. We should be getting out when he down at Joe Bama.
Yeah, that's how he
it went.
said it.
So he's like,
Because here's the deal.
He's
I-
full
I
on
don't wanna-
Cajun.
I don't want to jump ahead. Yeah, he's full blown.
Full blown.
Me and you. So
But Gator Reggie also. Let's back up a little bit.
okay.
Gator Reggie had more tags than anybody else in Louisiana to harvest gators with. More than anybody with the swamp people. He also had a watch dealer. Remember all his
Oh,
hides?
Yeah.
All his hides went to a watch dealer in Italy. And then the other wild thing about Gator Reggie was Gator Reggie leased 5,000 acres of water that he paid $75,000 a year for,
Right.
just for 5,000 acres of water. But only got 200 tags a year. Makes you wonder how much those hides and
Meat and all this stuff because you didn't get to keep anything.
didn't keep any of it.
Right. He
So
kept
anyways,
everything.
So that's Gator Reggie as.
Right, but here's the deal. They lined it up. So the tree stand testing
Yeah.
place lined up for us this whole thing. We didn't really have communication with him. I think we had some emails. We didn't have a phone call until we were driving down.
That is correct.
And so we had an email that said, hey, when you get within, I don't even remember what that little town was. Do you remember what it was?
Opelousas.
Opelousas, Louisiana.
Yep.
He says, when you start getting close to Opelousas, here's my phone number. Call me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was in the passenger seat of your pickup. And it's me and you, Daniel Arms Family Homestead.
Oh, yeah, Daniel was there.
Daniel was there.
Yeah.
It was Steve Quisenberry,
Yep.
Keith,
Yep. Keith
Keith
was there.
went.
Keith
was
went.
there.
Man.
and
Keith went.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Yep. So Tyler and Steve
Yep.
brought their boat
Yeah, they bought their boat.
that they used for bow fishing.
Mhm.
They brought it with.
They pulled it down.
Yeah.
And we drove. Just take a second to want to recognize our sponsor of this segment. This segment's brought to you by Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad. Even though we are in a new location,
Cat's
we
out of the
still-
bag.
We still
Cat's out of the bag.
we still have to deal with that. It'll make a star.
Yeah, new star on there. Yeah. Yeah, put that down there.
You also forgot your new box for your monitor.
Oh yeah, we're on a Cobalt. We're sitting on a
Sponsored by Cobalt now.
24 volt max.
24 volt max
Low special.
impact.
Mm-hmm.
And they will be running a Father's Day special here in the coming months.
They probably will. Yeah.
Probably will.
Anyway, so we're getting close, and you're like, hey, why don't you call Gator Reggie? That's what you tell me.
Yeah.
And so I call him up. I put it on the phone.
Yeah.
And I said, hey. He answers. He's like, hello. And
this is great.
And I said, hello.
You're really good at this.
And I said,
are you from Louisiana?
I'm not. I said, hey, Gator Reggie, this is Brad and Brett, and we're about 15 minutes out of town, and you said to call you about where we were going to meet at. And he said, man, I tell me, just get up, when you get up in town, but I'm going to go to, you're going to go to, we're going to be at a Rodama Inn. I'll meet you at about 7:45. And I'm like,
come again?
Hey, Reggie, I think it broke up a little bit. Can you say that again?
And when you say, I think it broke up, your language broke up.
Right, exactly. And I said, I kind of broke up a little bit. Can you do that again? He said, oh, yeah, man, I'm just going to get him in town. I'm going to go to Ramada Inn, and I'll meet you about 7:45. And I think he said Ramada Inn.
True.
I think we talked about meeting at the Ramada Inn, and I asked him a third time. I said, man, I'm so sorry. Like, we don't have great cell phone service. Can you say it one more time? So he slowed it down. He's like, man, I'll get in it now. And we're going to go to the Ramada Inn, and I'll meet you there about 7:45. And I'm like, I think it's 7:45.
Yeah.
You know.
Who knew the Ramada Inn had a buffet?
It had a buffet, and it was connected to also a casino.
Who knew that?
The Ramada Inn. And what was the name of this town again?
Opelousas.
There's like
Ramada Inn in Opelousas.
The Ramada Inn in Opelousas has a buffet and a casino next to it. He said, I'm
in.
So we pull in.
I'm in.
We get there, and Reggie's in the parking lot waiting on us.
Yeah.
And so we entered. He's like, I don't, man. I'm good ready, man. You know. Mm-hmm. And like he shakes all of our hands, and we go in and we sit down at this buffet. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was sitting like this at this table. I'm the closest one to him. He talks for 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. I understood nothing. Mm-hmm. He's telling stories. And so I had to read him.
It's very comparable to Bobby Boucher.
Oh, yeah.
Off of Waterboy.
Yeah.
What was the guy that nobody
the
could
coach?
understand?
Yeah, the coach.
No, the other one. The crazy fan guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
the one that
Yeah.
That guy.
That's
Gator. That was Gator Reggie's accent.
It was. And here's the deal. We just did an episode talking about the worst outfitters we've ever been with. Reggie was not a bad outfitter. I don't want anybody to feel like he was, because it was actually an incredible. Yeah. We killed like 13 alligators with him.
16 in 2 days.
16 gators in 2 days. Like, it was an awesome trip.
Yeah.
Okay. So
doesn't qualify on the list.
So please don't understand that this isn't me saying that he was bad at what he did, because he was great.
He was one of the best.
Well, yeah, he was really good at it.
Yeah.
But I remember sitting there, and he's just telling stories. He's like, man, I'm good to get out about it. I mean, over the band, went over the damn man. We got on the boat. We just went out and we get out one night, you know. And I'm just like, I know. So I'm reading his facial expression. So he'll be like, get to the end of the story, and he'll be like, God, it's me, Bob, and you're going, laugh. So if he laughs, you laugh too.
Oh yeah.
You know, you're like, oh,
you don't want to insult him.
Yeah, I don't want to insult this guy. You know, because the other side is that he has a son that's about 6'5".
Oh goodness.
Just a big old dude who never said a word.
Never said one
Never
word.
Spoke. So I'm like, well, here's his Billy. Here's his hitman.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And anyway, so he's...
That guy could toss in a gator in the boat.
Nothing.
Like, I mean, it was like throwing a pop can, man, or tossing a pop can, or crushing one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a beast.
Just an animal.
He was a beast. And so he
rode fear.
He rode the boat that we put all the alligators in. Yeah. Most of them. I mean, we started filling them up. And
he did all the baiting. He went out and rebaited all the hooks.
Yeah.
Half chickens, you know.
But I remember too, like you're reading him, and he'd tell another story and just reading him. So if he laughed, you laughed with him. He'd be like, "No, don't Steve, my old man. He just thought of me, no." And you're just so you like, and you're just about, yeah, I understand, man. I get it.
100% reading facial expressions.
Oh, had to the whole time. Yeah. The whole time we were there. But like we said, it was a great trip. But I'll never forget. I'm not a gambler. I'm not a gambler. I don't.
Oh man,
I don't do that. You know, I'm not a gambler.
This is bringing it back right now.
All right,
bringing it back.
But I remember we went into our room.
I've gambled my whole life.
Well, you know,
there we go.
That's what gets you places.
Yeah,
some people got it.
Some people got it. Some people don't. we're not going in. We're not going in this whole deal on gambling. But we go into this. We go into this. You guys talked me into going with you down to the casino.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not spending a dime. I'm just hanging out. I remember when we walked in.
Let's hold on though.
Okay.
I don't have a major gambling problem in casinos. Okay. But my good friend who went with us, Keith Timothy Tater went, right? Man of many nicknames.
Tater?
Yeah, Tater.
What's he call himself on the golf course?
A boomstick.
Boomstick.
Self-given.
Self-given. So
boomstick tater.
Hold on.
All right.
Last year, he decides one day he's going to show up at the golf course, and he just decides he's going to he threw on probably an extra 20 pounds last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
He decides he's just going to start just going full throttle, driving the golf ball as far as he can. And I'll give it to him, man. He was putting it out there pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie. I was impressed. All of a sudden, Self gives his name Boomstick at the first tee box.
Yeah.
We go into the clubhouse at the end of the day. He's telling everybody there that his name is Boomstick.
I've golfed with you one time, and the guy that was our waiter said, "Hey, what's up, Boomstick?"
No, he didn't.
Oh, yeah, he did. No, he did.
So everybody at
Shawnee,
at our golf course now,
no,
that where we play every day, and I haven't seen these cats 6-7 months. We just went in there last week for the first time, me and Keith. As soon as we walk in the door, there he is. What's happening, Boomstick?
Oh, God.
And I just put my head down in shame. I'm like, and he looks over at me. He starts laughing. He's like, it started again, Brett.
I'm going to make him a T-shirt.
So I love it. That's Tim Tater, Boomstick went, right?
Okay.
Sometimes goes as Winchell.
I didn't realize he had a problem.
So he has a legit problem. Okay. So he's the one that's talked me into going to the casino.
And in return, you asked
Louisiana.
me to go with you.
Correct. So let's just get that clear.
Okay. All right. And so I'm not a casino goer.
Right.
We go to SHOT Show in Vegas. I stay in a casino.
Right.
I don't ever gamble.
Right.
I just if I wanted to just throw money away.
Right.
There's a lot of other things I could do to just throw money away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's lots of other things. Columbia booger sugar, I'm just kidding. It's a joke. My God. Anyway, so we walk in. I'll never forget, we walked into this casino, and it has 10-foot ceilings.
Yep.
All right. And I can't see anybody from the shoulder up.
You got to bend down.
No. No.
Yeah.
You can't see anyone from mid-shoulder up because it's smoke.
And it's not a fog machine.
It's not a fog machine, bro. There is so much
them Reds in there,
There
baby.
is so much cigarette smoke in this place. There's zero ventilation. You can't see people's faces.
They're just in there hot boxing it.
Oh, it's just
rough.
brutal.
Just
It's brutal.
it.
Yeah.
And there was a lady who had been sitting. We're just walking around, and my eyeballs are just bloodshot red.
Just burning.
Oh, it's just
It's
horrible.
like walking through napalm.
She was in the high stakes room where Keith likes to go.
Okay.
All right, Timothy.
Old Tater.
So Timothy Winchell is the one that spotted this chick.
Okay.
Okay, playing at this machine.
How old is this lady?
Man, I would say she was probably at that time. We were young bucks. We were middle 30s at that time.
Well, I'm middle 30s now. No, I'm not. I'm late 30s, but yeah.
So, anyways, early 30s.
6-7 years ago.
I would say she was probably in her 40s.
Okay.
Just feeding. Now I wasn't there for this. I'm gone in the poor man area, right?
But at the one centers.
Yeah. Keith's in the big high stakes room.
Yeah.
He must have ran out of money though. Otherwise he would have never came and had this conversation with me. Right? He comes over to me. He's like, "Hey Brett." He goes, "I'm watching this lady over here, man. She is feeding this machine full of $100 bills. Nonstop."
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, "Dude, she's been there forever."
Yeah, because he had look at the ashtray.
The ashtray.
He
brought
said her
up
ashtray.
The ashtray.
It's just full of her cigarette
She's
butts.
just got mounted. She's gone through 3 packs just sitting there.
Keith is a very OCD guy. Very particular to detail. So he's the one. He probably sat there and counted all those cigarette butts. And probably factored in that she's probably been there for 6 hours. Because there's probably 2 packs there stacked up in her little teepee of ashtray. She gets off of it.
Oh, yeah?
So he comes to me. He's fired up. He's like, "Brett, you got to go to this machine."
He says it's primed,
Yeah.
ready to pop.
It's
And
hot.
you know when somebody calls a machine out and says, hey, you got to go play this, you're like,
yeah.
chances are not going to happen.
Yeah.
But, in that moment, you want to believe something. So, you know what I do? I cash my ticket out.
Yeah.
$43.06 on my ticket.
Yeah.
Go over to this machine. Put it in there. I did not realize that it was a $5 machine.
Oh boy. So you got.
And I didn't realize either that I hit bet
Yeah.
two, $10 a pull.
You're committed. 4 games.
Keith goes, 4 spins, man.
4 spins.
Keith's like, I promise you it's going to hit. Spin 1. Spin 2. Spin 3. And it happens.
Oh, it does, bro. It's like going nuts, man.
So Keith and I are like, I'm dying laughing because I'm watching the little digital screen.
Yeah.
And it's going like, it surpasses $1,500. I have no idea what I hit. No idea. It surpasses $1,500. And I just start laughing. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Then it surpasses $2,500, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
Oh
$6,000.
my
At
God.
$7,000, I'm literally dying laughing, going, when is this thing going to shut off? Right? And Keith is like, we're just hysterical at this point, right?
Keith is on like cloud 9.
Once it surpasses $10,000, we're just like, holy cow, is this thing broken?
You're the kid at Chuck E. Cheese that found the broken ticket machine.
So what did we finally hit there?
$12,000.
$12,000.
Brett won $12,000 at this sketch. And afterwards, I mean, people like. Well, first off, the lady's ticked.
Oh,
She comes back.
She comes back.
she is so mad.
And
She
she's,
comes back and
like,
she
wants to fight.
I bet.
And you know what's the worst is Keith is like in her face going, I told him to play it. Look at your cigarette butts. Look at all the cigarettes you got over there. I told him to play it.
You
Tater,
primed it.
on
You got
Boomstick ain't having it.
Yeah, you primed this machine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you walked away from it. It is not yours anymore,
Oh, yeah.
And so then the casino workers are over there, and they're like, congratulations, you
yeah.
got the hot hand.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to keep playing? And he goes, do you guys got one of the big checks? Or is this coming a small check? How do you guys do this? And they're like, you got a hot hand. You got to keep playing. He goes, no, I'm out, bro. That's it. I'm taking my money and I'm going up to the room. And they're like, you can't do that. You just won $12,000. You got to stay down here and play, man. You're on a roll tonight. And he's like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a big check or a small check?
Brett Will
Because I
said-
just-
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
out. Deuces,
we were out,
bro.
man. Chuck and
Done.
Deuce is gone.
I'm out of here.
We were
out.
gone.
No more for me. I'll never forget it.
But that lady,
And you know what?
as they're waiting to pay me out, we're sitting there at the machine. And it fuels her fire even more.
Yeah.
So she goes and she just starts double pumping 2 machines at the same time, $100 bills. I mean, this goes on forever.
Oh my God.
The whole time while they're trying to go ahead and get my payout.
She's trying to do it.
The whole time I'm kind of scared for my life too. I'm thinking that she's going to go psycho on me any minute.
Yeah.
Because Keith is instigating this thing like to the T. He keeps looking over at
What'd
her.
you expect the Boomstick to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If your name is, if you've got multiple Tater and Boomstick,
The old
you
Boomstick
probably do a
Tater.
little instigating.
Timothy, Tater, Tiny Tot, Winchell, Boomstick. He's got a lot of names.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Keith owes me money.
Oh, he.
Just gonna get that out there.
Whoa. So you do gamble a little bit.
I mean,
If he's gonna play scratch, yeah, there's when their pride is involved in it, all of a sudden the money starts coming out.
Yeah.
Very competitive over here.
I'm extremely competitive. I don't like to lose at anything. And I don't lose often because if you can't beat them,
This is another
Cheat
great,
'em.
another
Right?
great story.
Hey, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
that's right. So we go and play golf. I haven't played golf in like 7-8 years.
Oh yeah,
And I go and play with you and Keith this
Oh,
last
yeah.
summer.
we're very competitive.
Very competitive. And I haven't played in a while, and it showed.
Mm-hmm.
We played 18 holes. We go eat lunch. They're like, what's up, Boomstick? We eat lunch. And then somehow we decide to play another 18. I haven't
Yeah.
played in 7-8 years. I go out and
True
play
story.
36 freaking holes.
How much physical activity has you done up until that point?
Well, here's
at
the deal. I
all?
can tell you this. I ain't swung a golf club that many times in the last 25 years.
in the last ever.
Right? And so I was a sore joker. But we're on the back 9.
We're on the back
I'm not,
nine.
I'm not
I remember the whole.
I'm shooting about a 9,800 game.
We were on hole 15 when the glory happened.
Yeah, and basically Keith was like
running his mouth,
and I said, $20 on this hole.
Yeah, $20.
And
Keith even gave him 2 strokes.
He said, "I'll give you 2 strokes, bud."
That's how Boomstick.
That's how cocky and arrogant Boomstick is at that moment, right?
And this is the first one was a par 4. First one was a par 4.
That was hole 15.
Okay, so it's par 4, right?
That's the one that had the dog leg around the tree a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. That was the hole.
Okay, so or was that a par 5?
So the par 5 is where it started?
The par 5 is where it started.
Okay, but
because then there was a 4.
The par 4 was where it went, like PGA style.
Oh yeah,
that's the one I'm talking about.
Okay,
but it started on the par 5.
Right. So I beat him
on the par 5.
On the par 5.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I beat him on the par 5, and all it does is fuel the fire for him. He's like, "All right, man, double or nothing," and I'm like, "Okay, no big deal, not a big deal." And so we go, and I have a great drive.
It was beautiful
in the fairway.
Beautiful.
I think I outdrove Boomstick. Matter of fact, I had a better drive than Boomstick. I think he kind of went off towards that tree.
He did.
Yeah,
he was to the left.
Yeah, he was to the left.
Now he had an easy shot to get 2 on. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
But Brad Clay pulls out the 1 wood,
buddy,
off the deck.
Smoked it.
Still to this day, I can see that beautiful draw.
Oh, just dipped it in right up on the green.
Just went for broke.
Right on the green.
Just went for broke.
Oh yeah,
Parked it.
Boomstick looks over, hands up in the air. Where has that been all day?
Because listen, man, big time players make big time plays in big time games. Man, when the heat is on, I become a different animal. All right.
So the 2 holes that Brad bet Boomstick on, Brad Clay turned into a scratch golfer in those 2 holes.
I did.
So
no, I birdied. I birdied back-to-back holes.
Yeah. So the old Tater owes you 40, huh?
Yeah, he owes me $40.
Yeah, so. He has a bad habit with betting on golf and not paying.
Yeah, it is what it is. We'll try to figure that out.
But
I'll get it out of you.
That's Boomstick for you.
Blood or cash. Yeah. Either one's what I'll take.
Man,
another great. But Gator Reggie, ton of fun. We got other super fun stories. Brett, have you ever made a poor purchase in your life? Something you look back on and be like, why did we do that?
Which time?
I was talking this time.
Oh, man. Boomer Sooner, baby.
For those who cannot see and are listening right now, there is an autographed
OU football
Oklahoma.
Helmet. You see who that says?
The one and only
Brian. I can't read it.
The Bosworth.
Ah, the old Boz.
Signed by Brian Bosworth, 1985 National Championship. All right. 85-86 Butkus Award winner. Me and you went to watch OU play Dallas. To watch them play the Florida Gators.
What did we learn there this year when we were together?
Well, that me and you have to go to every OU bowl game because
we
dominated. It was just the most. I mean,
man,
OU just we just beat.
We did
the brakes off the Florida Gators. Just beat them to death.
Yeah, have you noticed like all the years that we have never gone to a game together, especially like playoff style stuff?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or bowl games.
Throttled.
Oh, you get throttled.
Yeah.
But you put us in the house together.
Unstoppable. And so we decided it doesn't matter if they play in the Puerto Rico Bowl.
A particular aura.
We are going to the Puerto Rico Bowl. Yeah, me and him together.
Yeah.
Shake and bake, baby.
That's how these got bought at that time. We were
on cloud 9. We won like 55-17. I mean, we just dominated. I remember what the score is. I mean, we dominated, and so we made.
I don't think we were supposed to win that game.
No, I mean it was. It's the SEC, man, right? We're supposed to be scared of them, right?
Yeah.
We bought these helmets. We got this, and there's another autographed Baker Mayfield helmet over there.
Yep.
We bought these. These are legit signed helmets. We paid stupid amount of money for.
We did,
but it was just out of excitement. We get back to the hotel room, and what do, Brett?
There is a TikTok out there that Brad made.
We strapped them on. And I really thought Brad was like joking around a little bit. I'm pumped up after that.
But I didn't realize that.
No, I could have guaranteed
I didn't realize, one, you're taking a man that used to play college football.
Yeah.
He's kind of in his
blacked
element
out.
at that moment. You
Yeah.
know?
I'm pumped, bro.
He puts a helmet on.
Yeah. And you put on one.
And I put on one. But look at me, dude.
I think you had on the balls. I had on the Baker Mayfield helmet.
I'm a $160 soaking wet, right?
Mm-hmm.
He decides.
I'm 3-dub.
He decides he wants to line up.
We're doing Oklahoma drill.
And I remember laughing so hard, and I'm like, "Are we really going to be hitting heads?" Right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Lays me out, dude. Lays me out.
Just no mercy.
He flips
mercy.
over the bed.
I think I'm looking out my ear hole. I think the helmet was.
So follow us on TikTok. You can go back and find that video.
Destroys me.
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't even like expecting it.
It was incredible.
I mean, I got rocked. I got blindsided.
That's something that Brad and I talk about frequently, is because I've tried to get Brad to come play softball with us a few times, and I end up screwing that pooch up, and it ends up. I had him coming out full on ready one time, and we had two guys that said they were going to no show, and then all of a sudden they show up, and so I have to eat my crow and call Brad and tell him, "Hey, those guys showed up. Hope you haven't left." He's like, "I'm crossing the train tracks at them."
I was not. Yeah, like don't invite me to be competitive and then back out on me.
Because
I go somewhere, bro. I go someplace.
You're in it.
I'm in it. Like I go places in my mind to prep.
Yeah.
You know.
So like on the way there, I call him and say, "Yeah, you want to come play?" And he's like, "Well, what position you want to play?" I said, "Well, I mean, you play the hot corner." And he's like, "Adam, I'm a college athlete."
Yeah.
I'm a college athlete. I said, "Okay, I'll put you in the hot corner."
No problem, bro.
And then
It's the worst that could happen.
Then I had to call him and take it back.
Yeah.
And all of that amperage that was generated leading up to that, I don't actually know what happened. I don't know if a guy got hit in the 7-Eleven parking lot after that to let it all go or what. But
I don't remember either. I probably beat one of my kids. I'm joking. I'm just joking. I was like,
This is a dark episode.
All right, boys, we're gonna strap it up. And I put them helmets. I put that helmet on Josiah, my 7-year-old, and I said, "Line up, son."
Josiah, you ever heard of Oklahoma drill?
That's right.
Yeah,
No,
Brad don't play, man. I was like that day golfing.
Yeah.
That day last year, first time he's golfing forever.
Yeah.
He's actually telling funny stories about how he lost to
I did. So I do have a funny golf story. I was on the first ever Allen, Oklahoma golf team. All right, Allen, Oklahoma, first ever golf team they ever had, and I made the team. Never played golf for in my life. All right.
Yeah.
And it was my senior year, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. Right. So I lettered in 5 sports in high school. You know, and I'm like, I'm adding golf to this. Like, I'm gonna be a golf guy, and I make it. And there's 5 guys on the team, and I was number 5. Okay. And I'll never forget our first tournament.
So you were the 5-bagger.
I was the 5-bagger.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And you get paired with 4 other guys from another school, and you play your round of golf with those guys. And it was in Okmulgee, Oklahoma.
Mm.
And I got paired with a guy from Okmulgee. He's on his home course. Okay, just throwing that out there.
Home course. He's trying to make it look better.
He had one arm. He's got one arm. And I'm like, I got to beat this guy. You know what I mean? Like, this is golf, and he has one arm. I have to beat him.
What was your what?
No, hold on.
Hold on. Expectation. I got to know going into this. Like, you see this guy. You're walking up to the tee box.
You know how he entered it in this conversation, saying though, by the way, this is his home course.
He knows it like the back of his one hand.
So,
okay. All right.
So you're walking up to the tee box, and you see this guy you're paired up with. Mm-hmm. First thought comes to your mind.
My first thought was, I cannot lose to a dude with one arm. I can't do it.
So, see, that was your problem. You immediately went to the, I can't lose. Like you had the wrong mindset from right off the beginning.
Adam, it wouldn't have mattered. Okay?
Oh, that's so hard.
This dude is 5th on his team, and I believe he shot a 74.
Oh, wow.
Holy moly.
The dude.
So he smoked you.
Oh, it wasn't close. Like, he beat me by 30 strokes.
Oh, my gosh.
All right? Like, the dude just beat the pants off of me. Yeah. And we get back. I remember that the day was over, and everybody's like, this you got your butt whooped by the one-arm guy, Brad? And I was like, yeah, sure did, fellas.
Yeah, he beat the sleeves off me.
Exactly. Right? He just beat me so bad in golf. But you know what? I have another story about high school golf. We played, there's a course. It's not even open anymore in McAllister, Oklahoma. All right? Just west of McAllister, there's a course there. And I'll never forget, there's a hole. I have not played well. All right?
Was that the one where you...
Hold on. Don't get ahead of me. All right? It's like, I can't remember. It's like hole 11 or 12. All right? And I haven't played great all day. I've struggled. It's a tough course. It's really tight fairways, a lot of trees.
Course.
No, shut up, Adam. It was. You haven't been there, all right?
Was
you
the one-armed guy there?
No, he was not there, okay? Everybody had all
who was there? Brett Clay.
I was there, and the rest of us all had our limbs, okay? Everybody was full limbed.
Fully limbed.
And so there's a hole that it's like a
No, this is hole 12 or 13?
It's like 11 or 12.
11 or 12,
there.
okay.
All right. And
So how did the front nine go right away?
not great.
Okay.
All right. I'm already ticked off.
All right. Okay.
I'm mad at myself. I'm not playing well.
We're just trying to get your mindset.
Golf is a frustrating sport for me because you want to go play basketball. I'm a pretty good basketball player.
Okay.
You want to play baseball, softball, I'm a pretty good softball player. You want to play football, I'm in, bro. Like most sport, golf is the most frustrating because it's not something that I'm not immediately great at. I'm not good. I'm not great at any sport. But I don't embarrass. I can go out and not people will be like, well, that guy.
Yeah.
You cannot embarrass yourself.
I won't embarrass myself.
Not embarrass yourself.
Sport.
Gotcha.
Golf, I can.
Right.
I can embarrass myself really fast at golf. And so I've kind of embarrassed myself the front nine. I'm not playing well. And we get to the hole 11 or 12, and it's got a winding, like a creek that just, like a snake through it. And you literally have these little 20-yard patches of green. And then you get to the base, and it's a peak that goes straight up. And I'm talking like 40 foot up in the air, and the hole is on top. You have to pitch up on top of this green that's on the very top of this hill.
Are you playing it like a putt-putt course?
No, it feels putt-putt, but this is like a par 3.
Yeah.
All right. Hole. So you have to chip.
Yeah.
And then chip it up top and then put it in. I can't get it up there. Dude, I'm bouncing it off a wall. It's in the creek. I'm doing a drop.
The moment of defeat.
And it was it. I said, I'm done.
I'm done.
And I told them, I said, fellas, I quit. I quit this. I'm quitting today.
I'm quitting the team.
I'm retiring.
Hanging it
from
up.
This one. And good luck, fellas. I'm walking my butt to the clubhouse.
I'll be in there. I'll be in there with the cheese fries and the root beer.
That's exactly what it was, too. And so I quit. Everybody came back and said, hey, how'd you shoot today? And I was like, not great. I took an 8. I said, just write me down for 8 for the rest of them. And I said, I'll sign. I don't care what you shoot. I'll sign your card when it's done, because we all had to sign your card, your scorecard. You have one official scorecard. And I said, I'll sign it. Joseph put me down for an 8 for the rest of them.
So out of your whole career of all your sports you've ever played, the only sport that beat you was golf?
Football beat me physically. I mean, I have 5 concussions, and that's why.
I mean, that where you just done. I quit. I can't go no more.
Oh yeah, no. The only sport I've ever quit at was that moment in McAllister, Oklahoma, on a golf course. It's the only time I've ever quit.
The game beat you.
Yeah, the game beat me. Yeah, it did.
So when Brad first told me about him being on the golf team, where I grew up, being on the golf team meant something. It was a status thing almost. Like you had to be pretty good. So the first time he ever tells me that, I'm like, wow, man, Brad was on a golf team. It's got to be pretty legit, right? Then the story started.
But here's the deal. You'll admit this. There are aspects of my golf game that are pretty good.
I would agree with that.
All right. Even though I haven't played in years.
I would agree with that.
My pitching wedge.
Yep.
Is deadly. Accurate.
It was good.
You know who else's pigeon wedge is deadly?
That one-armed guy
golf
from
championship right here, baby.
That one-armed guy from Okmulgee was really good with a pitching wedge.
Do you know that we have relocated the one-armed guy?
Really?
In his older years,
We found him.
You found him?
He now plays at our home course in Shawnee, Oklahoma.
Rematch.
Oh my god! He's probably so good.
Would this make
my gosh!
Would this make like a 30 for 30 ESPN episode?
Oh gosh. Oh, this is so enticing. Full on documentary action.
All these years later.
I need you to put $20 on a hole for me to play Will. I'm just gonna have to tell him that.
I think it's him, man.
I think it is too. You guys were telling me about it.
And he's good.
He is good. Y'all
He is
telling
good.
me. I gotta get.
And
I
he's
gotta get after
he
it.
is our age.
Small world.
So we're gonna have to. We're
I
gonna.
really need to have a conversation with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like for you to do it because I don't want to bring it up because if it is him and he's immediately like, I remember you.
Yeah, and I
You're
got to make sure
horrible.
Boomstick ain't there either because he'll run his mouth nonstop.
Yeah.
So
Brett, this was a lot of fun. We don't want to end this conversation without talking about an aspect of faith. That's what we always do.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that's always been a connection for us, and it has been from the beginning. It has been. You were interested when you had Swivel and Tree Stems about partnering with us because of what we stood for with the show,
absolutely.
about being faith based, and that we, what we're doing, and you've supported our ministry in lots of ways. Not only donating your time to help us with stuff as an electrician, you donated stuff to our banquet. You've bought stuff at our banquet that we do every year. But I just wanted to hear you talk about your faith and have a moment for you to be able to share about your testimony, what the Lord means to you, and how you're trying your best to raise your family in that.
Yes. So let's see now.
Because you're a perfect kid growing up.
Absolutely.
You were
Not.
perfect. All right. In college,
Man,
you were
Bad news.
an altar boy. You were a saint.
bad news.
Bad
boys.
news, huh?
Oh yeah.
Not a good guy.
No,
Would you have let your daughter date you?
absolutely not.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
So growing up, no church influence really, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Did occasionally go on the holidays, to a First Church of God.
Okay.
Okay. What would that be, anyways? Like
Church of God Prophecy is probably what they're
maybe
Yeah.
what they would have
Pentecostal
been. It would have been
holiness.
a Pentecostal holiness, a little
No,
bit of
no.
Adam feel,
nothing
a
Pentecostal.
little Adam vibe,
First Church of God. Anyways,
But in Michigan, your home state.
Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't until I met my wife later on in life that she grew up in a very Christian home.
Yeah.
Pentecostal, so her parents had a big influence on me, just watching them, and so of course, the wife and I started dating. We really relocated to Stratford, Oklahoma after marriage, and I've been to 2 churches my whole life. The one I got saved on, and then I tell a lot of people it's the one that's working for me, the one that's working on me.
That's great.
I tell a lot of people that because that's probably where I've grown so much with my faith, and I'm a big believer in giving. I'm a big believer in that. And that's probably what drives me the most as far as what my heart is, as far as giving more than receiving. So my wife, she'll even tell you too. I probably do more things for other people than I sometimes do for our own. Just because that's the kind of heart I've got. And so I would say, that's probably the best characteristic there is of me as far as that goes.
Yeah, because I know that list is pretty small. I'm kidding. I would say that about you. You are a giver, and you do care about. And I know I know things that you've done to help people that nobody knows about. and you're not the guy that's looking for. I don't want anybody to be like, "Well, he's bragging about being selfless." That's not it at all. But that is a characteristic that's very much so a part of who you are. Is that you are a giver, and you do say that all the time when it comes to even like with business. Like I've been successful with my business because I have been a giver back.
Absolutely.
To the church, to ministry, to
Absolutely.
whatever it is. I know that's something that's important for you.
Absolutely. And it's that old saying too, everyone always wonders about tithing and everything and all that, and I don't even think about all that. I think it's a habit you have to have in life. It's something that you just have to, no matter what, and above and beyond that, is where I think a lot of just unbelievable blessings are in life.
Yeah.
that will flat out blow your mind. And I love the part too when you give to a certain way, or the way I live and the way I give, and there's no keeping track of those because they're so abundant.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see things that will just click on later in life, or you'll see those people or moments that things will happen, and you'll go, oh, wow, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember doing that for somebody, or I remember this. And for what I did, this happened or that happened. So living in those moments and having those things coming back to you, I mean, I think it's just a true testimony of what God is in your life, you know. And I convince anybody, you know, that's not a believer or anything, you know, or if you are, really just stretch yourself out there. Really put yourself out there into a moment or in an area where you just give.
Yeah, and we're not even just talking about financial.
No.
We're talking about your time.
We're talking about everything.
Your talent.
Yeah.
Right?
Everything.
All those things. If God's blessed you with something, a talent or whatever, being able to go and give that.
Absolutely.
And watch God bless you.
Yeah. 100%.
I think we would say when we give of those, because here's the deal, giving money's easy. And I'm not saying money's not important.
Right.
But giving of money is easy. It's easy to just write a check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's hard to give your time and your talent to something.
Yeah. And what does God look at? He looks at your heart.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure, man.
You look in the Bible and it talks, you know, I mean, look when they could only just give him, you know, like the lady, you know, wiping his feet, you know, and cleaning his feet, you know what I mean? That's all she could give. That was her heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's what God looks at. He looks at your heart, you know. So, I mean,
there's a lot of people who give thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and they're not in the right place when they're doing it either.
True.
They have
True that.
They may be doing it with a not a contrite heart.
Right.
As
Kind
it
of
says.
well, look at me.
Yeah.
You know, look what I'm able to do.
Check me out.
Yeah. And then there's folks that, like you said, God's looking at the heart.
Yeah.
Right? He's looking at the motive behind it. Because that's
100%.
what matters. Man, appreciate you, buddy.
Oh,
Appreciate
yeah.
you.
Love both of you guys.
Appreciate you.
Thank
We've
y'all
been,
for having me on.
This was fun. We have to do this again because you're an easy one too because we're buddies. We hang out and Marco Polo one another too often, too comfortable with one another.
Oh yeah,
no doubt. Great day today. This was a good podcast. I feel like this one's long. I feel like we went really long, but that's not a bad thing.
If it feels long, that's a problem.
That is a good point.
But if it doesn't feel long,
if it didn't feel long, because there's some great stories in this one. There's some great stories told.
A lot of history.
A lot of history. Gator Reggie, Big Stick,
Billy,
Boomstick,
Billy.
Oh, Hillbilly.
We've got a lot of good ones. Me losing to the one-armed guy from Okmulgee.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Brett,
Good
thanks so
times.
much for being on with us. A lot of fun. We'll do it again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, listening, watching.
They can find you on
You can
socials.
find us, yeah, social media. I was just about to do that to you, so I'm glad you kicked it to me. You can find Final Descent Outdoors on literally almost every platform. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Final Descent Outdoors, FDO Outdoors. You can find us there. And make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube channel, tuning in, and you can find this podcast hopefully soon on every platform possible to download.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully soon. Adam, where can people find you?
You can find me on the social medias at Hurley Films, HEARLFILMS, and give it a week if you try to talk to me.
Yep, because that's how often he gets on.
Notifications are off.
Brett, do you want anybody to contact you on social media? No?
Leave my Facebook alone.
There we go, folks. Don't find him.
That's all I got.
That's it. He flies under the radar. Thanks so much for watching, listening. God bless you. We'll see you next week.